All right, so we are going to dive straight into product research now. Is that working, Carolina? Yeah. You know, hopefully by the time you leave here, you'll have no issues at all in finding product ideas, good product ideas. We're going to go through, I think, 6 or 7 different tactics that you can use. Some of them you'll already know of, others may be new to you, but if they can help you find just one product, then you know they'll be worthwhile. So these are the sort of tactics that we're going to be working through, seeing what other successful product sellers are selling. We've got a few different tools that I'm going to pull up and we'll have a look at. Check other websites. Merchant Words is another one. I'm going to work through these one by one now and just take a closer look. So firstly, Amazon deep dives. And what I'm going to do here actually is I will go over to Amazon and we'll just have a look here. Now, okay. So when we're starting out on Amazon, the way that we like to do it is just go to the full store directory, and you can get that from a drop-down menu, full store directory. And these are all the different categories on Amazon. And literally, we just like to dive down into different subcategories, kind of on a random, a bit of a random approach. So for example, kitchen and bath fixtures. Once we're inside this category, the place that I would start normally is to come to the best sellers tab here. And it may be a little bit hard to see this, but you will get the slides as well, which has this all step-by-step processed out for you. And then literally just start scanning down at the different items that you can see here. And when I was setting up this presentation, this was one that jumped out at me. It's a lightweight shower stool.
Why did that one jump out at you?
Why did it jump out at me? It jumped out at me because it was lightweight and it had a good, relatively good sale price, so $28. So it's they're probably doing $10 to $15 margin at least. And whereas a lot of these other ones, I kind of discarded them. You know, this one here is $12. This one here, again, it's pretty hard to see up there, but you know, that's just a $12 replacement filter. So I mean, just coming down through here and looking at things that are not necessarily technical or replacement components. In this category, there seem to be a lot of replacement components. So something like this, the adjustable, you know, it's an adjustable seat. It's probably quite small as well. You can see it, those legs probably, you know, collapse down. It's quite small. And then we can just come down and have a look at it. And when we're looking at this one, we can see the bestseller ranking is 818 in the health and personal care. At this point, we've got a couple of options. We could keep looking at this particular product. So we could go over to Amazon and we could type in shower bench, and I'll just do this quickly. We could type in shower bench and just start again scanning to see if it looks like something that is going to meet our criteria. So what I'm looking at are the prices of these shower benches, how many reviews they've got, how big they sort of appear to be, the weight. But just to start with, I like to just scan down and see the reviews. Now that one we were looking at before had 717 reviews, which is a little bit on the high side for, you know, if all the products had, you know, that number of reviews, it would be a little bit higher than what I would want. However, these others have got, you know, 259 reviews, 342, 430, 500, you know, these are a little bit, probably a little bit competitive. But anyway, I mean, this is how we drill down and have a closer look at products. That's kind of like path one that you can take in this research phase. Path two is to say, well, let's actually have a look at some of these different subcategories, because this is number one in health and personal care, but what about this category? Medical supplies and equipment. We can click on bestsellers, and again we're now in the bestsellers. Whoops, we went back to health and personal care there. But this here is a list of the most popular products based on sales in medical supplies and equipment. And we can just scroll down and do the same thing all over again. So I'm scanning for price mainly, I'm scanning for size, and I'm scanning for something that's going to be a simple product, okay? And just with this method alone, you know, you'll be able to find hundreds. I mean, it's almost limitless, the number of products that you could find. So that's kind of the first way to do it. And when you are in, if I go back to this main full store directory, try to just be very open-minded to the subcategories that you go down into. We've had Blueprint Academy members in the past who are, you know, in the automotive and industrial, and all kinds of just bizarre categories that you probably wouldn't expect to find, you know, high-selling, profitable products. But sometimes they are the best categories to get into because the competition is so much lower and it's easier. So that's kind of a run-through of how we do that. Again, we're scanning for price, size, weight, complexity of it, durability. You know, I quite like to look at strangeness as well. If it's quite a strange product, then oftentimes it's other people haven't thought about it or haven't gotten into that niche. Durability, you know, if you're selling crystal glasses, then there's a chance they're going to be breaking when they're getting shipped out to customers. So look for the right attributes. And then again, take a closer look at the actual size, the weight, the bestseller ranking, subcategories. Look at negative reviews as well, because you can use them to improve your product, make your product better than what's already out there. And again, this is just the process. So you've got two paths. One, diving deeper into a specific keyword like shower bench, or two, diving into the subcategories. Now, the rough criteria that we look at is we want the products to be priced at $15 or higher, normally. I mean, you can break these rules, but the reason that we say that is because we really need to be able to make at least a $10 margin on the products that we're selling. So that normally means that you're going to have to price your products at $20 or higher, because it's unlikely that you're going to be able to source a product, get it to Amazon, ship it out to customers for, get it to Amazon for $10 or less. It's, with all the shipping and costs that are involved, it will be unlikely. But when you're scanning through, look for $15 or more, because you can always up that as well. We always talk about selling at a premium end, a premium product. We want to be the most expensive product on Amazon in that category. The majority of products should have less than 400 or 500 reviews. If you're looking at the top 10, if you dive deep into a keyword like shower bench and you see that, maybe one of them's got 700, 800 reviews, but the others are all 100, 200, perhaps 300, 50, then that's fine. We want it to be lightweight, so ideally less than 2 or 3 pounds, and that's about 1.5 kilos. Small is a huge benefit. It doesn't have to be small. We know a lot of people who are selling big, bulky things, and they do very well. However, it's easier and it's more cost effective when you're selling something that's small. So personally, we wouldn't sell a suitcase, but we would sell a small trash can, for example, general size. Sorry, can you speak up?
When you're talking about a $10 margin on a $15 product,
yep,
minimum, are you subtracting all?
Sorry, I'm saying that I'm not saying that you would get a $10 margin on a $15 product. I'm saying when you're scanning, when you're researching, you want to see that the competition are selling for $15 or more. Because if the competition are selling for $15 or more, that probably means that you can sell your product at $20 or $25, and then you'll get that $10 margin. It would be quite hard to get a $10 margin on it would be tough. But good question.
Even if you get a $10 product
Is there a percentage or a markup that you would need to make, including freight, advertising, everything? What kind of a number should we be looking at when selling?
You know, the markup is going to vary. It always sort of varies, but we like to see, ideally, if we can get a 50 to 100% markup. If our costs of getting the product from China or wherever you're sourcing it from to Amazon are $10, then we want to be selling it for $20 or more. But it does vary, because if you've got more expensive products, we've got one product which I think costs us about $35 to source it, just to get it to Amazon. And that one, I think we're selling it for about $50. So you can't always have a 100% markup, but it's kind of a good thing to shoot for, at least. And then, yeah, I mean, you'll find all kinds of examples when you start diving down into these subcategories as well. And just start filling out the spreadsheet. There's a spreadsheet in the members area for you. And again, what I'm doing here is I'm just diving into all the different subcategories that were listed for that bench stool. So if I back up a second, here we can see medical supplies and equipment. So it was number 1 in health and personal care, and that is it was number 1 in shower, bath stools and benches, which is like a micro category. It's a category within another category, which is inside another category, inside another category. So just drilling down into all those subcategories. And I've just got screenshots of them here. So best sellers in medical supplies and equipment, mobility and daily living, bathroom safety and aids and accessories, bath and shower aids. You know, we're getting more and more specific as we drill down here, but every single category is presenting new opportunities. Okay, so that's the first method. The next method, this one here works really, really well, and that's spying on other successful Amazon sellers. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Here we've got a garlic crusher, which I will actually pull up here. This is something that we're going to have a closer look at later, because we purchased it, so we can reverse engineer it a little bit. But let me just pull it up here. So if I search for garlic crusher, and let me find the one. Well, we can dive into any of these, but typically you know something is probably a successful and professional seller if they've got a lot of reviews and if they're doing well in general. So this one here, if I open this up here, we can see that it's sold by Orb Blue, okay? And if I click on that, we can see he's got a couple of products. He's got the garlic crusher and he's got a dough blender. Okay, so that's one potentially a professional seller who is doing relatively well, but it's not the example I wanted to give you. This one here I think is a good example. Alpha Grillers. Here we can see they've got a grill brush, and which has got 520 reviews, and they've also got the garlic crush. This is someone who is obviously doing something right, because they've got so many reviews for their product. What else have we got here?
You might check Bed Pusher, that's a competitor of mine.
Sorry?
Bed Pusher, it's a competitor of mine.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and it's a very good seller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bed Pusher.
So basically the process for finding a successful seller is to type in any keyword and then look for the heavily marketed products. And a couple of the telltale signs for these are if they've got a lot of reviews and if they've got a very optimized, often long product title, which I don't necessarily recommend you use on your products. Then open the products. This is one that was listing, and it's sold by Brewjoy. If I then dive deeper and see what else that person is selling, we can see that they've got 8 different products, and they've got 84 reviews or more on every single product that they've launched. So they've got 8 products, and they've all got a significant number of reviews. They've got things like a milk frother, pizza cutter, cocktail drink muddler, travel pillow. I mean, these are all classic products that you can sell and make a lot of money with. And I mean, here's the list: tin can opener, lemon press, garlic crusher, vegetable peeler. They're obviously mainly in the home and kitchen niche, but if you're in that niche, then this would be a good place to come. They've already done all the research for you, and they've proven that it's, these products are probably working, because we can see the bestseller rank of all these products. Yep.
Yeah, so when I was doing some research, I kind of looked at some of that stuff, but to me, when I look at the price, it's always low, so then I always thought that that wasn't a good product.
It doesn't mean you have to sell yours at the low price, though.
Okay.
You don't want all the products to be really low in price, but you know, if it's good to see at least one person that's got a reasonably high price potentially, but as long as you think that you can sell it at a higher price, then it's okay. Chris?
Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
I actually got a customer phone me saying he bought my product specifically because it was the highest price one.
Yeah, it happens all the time. All the time.
All time.
Yeah.
We
Gentlemen?
think people shop by price, but I mean some do, you know, there's no doubt, but often they don't. They want to feel good about what they're buying. And normally what people do is they don't want to buy the cheapest, and a lot of times they don't want to buy the most expensive. You know, they usually buy like the next one down. They feel like that's a good price performance point. But one thing I was going to mention about the lower price items, a good strategy when you find something you really like, and you know, you think, oh, but maybe it's selling for 15 bucks, I'd really like to sell for 20. Dive into that product. Take, you know, you mentioned it before, take a look at the negative reviews. What are problems that people are having with that product? What are the questions that people are asking about the product? What do they like about it? See if there's some way to bundle something with it. You know, maybe the garlic press needs a, I don't know, like.
Well, the one that we purchased, the garlic press, it has a little garlic brush, scrubber brush, which would cost like 10 cents to include in there. And that also differentiates it from the others, so it makes it harder for people to copy your listing, so on and so forth. So.
And especially if somebody, if one of the complaints was, you know, I can't get the stupid garlic out of holes or something. And so you can actually put on there, well, you know, we've got that sorted, we've got that, you know, that fixed for you. So, you know.
Lionel, do you have some?
Yeah, just to build on all of that, my first product as well, I found the bestseller was $12. And I'm selling my product onto the same $25, and I'm the bestseller.
Yep. And I was talking to Lionel beforehand, and he said he did something like 600 sales on his new product line last month or something. So awesome.
Miles from 2014.
Another one of the products that I identified here is this Greenco one, and you can see this is the brand name, and we're going to talk more about this next in the next presentation. But the brand name is Greenco, and the seller name is Stockport. If we click on Stockport again, we can see all the different products these guys are selling. And they've got 4 pages of different products. And just dive down into them. A lot of them meet our criteria. They're doing all the hard work for you, and you can just come and take all the ideas and do a better job of marketing them. That's the one I just showed you there. They have 46 products in a range of different niches. And they have 10 products just in that Greenco kitchen niche, which is their brand, okay? So, you know, the benefits of using this method is that someone else does the hard work for you, and you can find pre-filtered, pre-researched products already without having to go through all of that. And it's easy to reverse engineer an entire brand. So when you're thinking about this, we always like to think in the big picture, at least 6 months down the line, 12 months down the line, where you may have 5, 6, 7 different products. If you're reverse engineering someone else, you can get a quick list of easy products that you can market, do a little bit better job at marketing them, make the product slightly different, some way, shape or form, and you'll be able to do pretty well from it. More likely, the downside of this is that it's more likely you'll find some pretty tough competition directly, because if someone else is already exploiting a specific niche as much as they can, then they're probably not the first ones to do it. But we're pretty confident that we can outperform almost anyone on Amazon with the different strategies and tactics and resources that we have available. So you should be confident about that as well. Amazon Opportunity Finder, you all have access to this. It's available in the Blueprint Academy members area. This is a tool that we developed. It allows you to put in some general filters. So for example, minimum sell price, $10, minimum seller rating and reviews 0, and then just hit the search button. And I mean, you've just got to kind of take these results with a grain of salt, but they do bring up some pretty interesting ideas sometimes, okay? And it's completely random, which helps you think outside the square as well. So that's another thing that you can use. With the filters, a few tips for you. Set the minimum price at, say, $10, and often set the maximum price at 45 or 50. Set the maximum reviews at 400 to 500, and then just start browsing through the results. You should double check all of the ideas that you come up with always by going into Amazon. If you find a garlic press looks like a good example based on the numbers that the Amazon Opportunity Finder gives you, go into Amazon and just validate those numbers, make sure they're good. This tool pulls data, it kind of scrapes data from Amazon, but it's not updated every single day. Sometimes it takes a couple of weeks to update each keyword. So it's relatively good, but it's never exact data, okay? Discover niches. This is a tool you and Tim developed years ago, and I don't think we really spoke about this last year, but this tool is still available online, and it's a great, you should all have access to it as well. It's a great little tool to use. You just log in, and then you can just click Find Inspiration, and it's going to start pulling up a whole bunch of random things. Not always related, but some interesting ideas there. And then you can also filter by monthly searches as well, and you'll find a lot of very interesting.
And now all of you will waste hours of your life just hitting Find Inspiration and looking at Miley Cyrus karaoke.
Yeah.
Where are the monthly searches?
Down here. These are monthly searches here. They're pulled from Google. Yeah. And I'm not going to start diving into these because I could be here for.
Get rid of all the adult results.
Yeah. And then we've got the Ecom Product Finder, which you'll log in on a page like this. You all have access to all these tools, and if you don't know your password, just send us an email or support, and we will. So it's ecomproductfinder.com, and it will.
This is my favorite.
This is one Steve wastes all his time on. So we can put a maximum price in here, and we can just hit random search.
I was just repeating the story about how this tool got developed. I think you have 100 and 100 that you can get that.
And it's typical. I don't know. It's always working, but
100 and 100 that's why.
what's that? Oh.
No, you can't. Take out the dog.
Yeah, I had all the filters cleared.
Try it.
Wow.
Oh, for God's sake.
Anyway, I promise
It's no
you.
longer my favorite tool.
I promise you, it does work. And here's some screenshots to show you that it was working. It's available in the Blueprint Academy members area, and I'm going to find out why that's not working. But it just brings up random ideas, more inspiration, things you'd never even think of.
The power of this is that it's completely random. What we find, and I always have this problem too, you go into Amazon, and even when you go to that full store directory, you tend to just go in a very hierarchical manner because that's how it's all organized. And I personally think that the most effective brainstorming is from a completely disorganized approach. And there's no way to just tell Amazon, give me a random product, and then start thinking from there. But this tool does that. It's completely random.
Yeah. And again, you can normally use min and max price filters and just hit random search and it'll bring back the results.
So is it useful not doing random though? Like if you really
Well, you could. I mean, you could put like dog in there or something if you're already in a certain niche. But we normally use it just on a completely random basis for inspiration. But yeah, you can use it like that. The next one is Merchant Words. How many people here have actually used Merchant Words? Yep, it's pretty good. It's a useful tool, right? And it's pretty cost effective as well. Since most of you have used it, I won't actually open it up, but it's a great way to get not just search volume data, but to get ideas as well. And one way that we've used this a lot is to set the seed keyword as set. And by doing this, it shows you a whole bunch of different, set related keywords. So dice set, weight set, chemistry set for kids. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, and that's just one little example. You can try all kinds of seed keywords, root keywords in there, and you'll get a ton of results. You can see for the root keyword set, there's over 245,000 different keyword results. We pay $7 a month. Actually, I think we pay $19, but there's a discount code which is in the Blueprint Academy forum, and you can sign up and it costs just $7 a month, and it gives you great data.
Merchant Words are not strictly Amazon searches. They base it on Google and stuff. It's really not adapted for Amazon stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely not 100% accurate. Those numbers are not, you don't go to Merchant Words to see exact numbers. What you go there for is relative numbers and strength of keywords. Yeah. And it's directionally accurate, but no.
Yeah. We use it to oftentimes compare two different keywords. If one has got 100,000 searches a month and the other's got 10,000, then we can kind of assume that the one with 100,000 searches is actually going to get more data. But the final decision of whether or not we'll choose a product, we base it on the number of reviews of that product on Amazon, but more importantly, the bestseller ranking of the top 3 or 4 products in Amazon for that specific keyword. We never base it on the data for merchant keywords. And then this next method, just going shopping, this is a great way to find products. So yesterday, Carolina and I were in the fashion mall over here in, just across the street, and they've got one shop which is full of home and kitchen items. I mean, there's literally probably thousands of products that are in there. And what I've liked to do in the past, and I'll show you some more photos in a minute, is just scan around, look for small items that are priced roughly as you want to sell them for, take a photo of them or just remember them or write them down, and then when you get home, do the research on Amazon to see if it actually does stack up. And it's a great way. We've found products like this in the past. I mean, it's just, this shop is just packed. If you get the chance, if you're in the home and kitchen niche, you should definitely go and visit this shop. And then these ones here were some photos we took a few months ago when we were in Barcelona, but this was just in an outdoors shop, and this is like a day pack. It's about this big. It sells for 31 euros. Okay, so that must be like $40 US roughly, or a scarf. Here's another couple. A pack cover, 27 euros. A pocket towel, microfiber pocket towel, 16 euros. This is, if I was in the outdoor niche, I would go into outdoor shops and just see what they're selling, because they've done a lot of the research, the market research for you, and they're not going to have, stuff in their shop that just doesn't sell. They just wouldn't have that, okay? So visit local shops, go to the kitchen shops, go to the outdoor shops, sports shops, electronics shops, homeware, gardening, and just scan around for the criteria. Take photos of things that you're interested in. Yep, John?
Well, you can also just chat up the salespeople, and they'll just tell you what sells better.
Yeah.
Good if you ask them.
Yep.
That's neat.
Yeah, that's great. So finding products should not be an obstacle. However, I will say that the more experience you get, it kind of gets harder and harder and harder, because all of a sudden you know more stuff and you keep looking for the perfect product. When you're just starting out, and maybe some of you can relate to this, you just dive in kind of without even knowing into a product, and you know, you can get it up and make money on Amazon. So it does get harder, but as long as you're roughly sticking to the criteria and paying close attention to the bestseller ranking, the reviews, and you know, the whole criteria that we've spoken about, small, lightweight, then you will be able to sell on Amazon. I mean, pretty much every single product that you list on Amazon will sell if you stick to that criteria, as long as you follow through on the marketing methods as well. So use the 7 methods that we spoke about and fill out the spreadsheet that is available in the Blueprint Academy members area, and then send it over to Steve or I to get our thoughts about it as well. That's what we're here for.